What's up, everybody? My name is Delio. Today, I have a very interesting video for you all. So, as you guys know, there's been a ton of leaks and stuff like that of old Black Ops 2 builds, in particular, Zombies Chronicles. That was a big thing that released within the past month or so. Zombies Chronicles on Black Ops 2, the original sort of idea of taking the World at War and Black Ops 1 maps, putting it into Black Ops 2, and it basically filled out the sort of empty sort of globe interface that Black Ops 2 had. You know, it just made sense for them to have it in the game. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got access to my dev kit. It came a little while ago. I've been messing around with it a little bit. I might go through that particular build eventually, just because I find it interesting, and it'd be nice to cover that stuff on the channel. It gives me something to make videos about in this sort of lull period, even though the tomb just released. But besides the point, I got access to it, and there was another build that released recently as well that had a pre-alpha version of Mob of the Dead, and that's what we're going to be checking out in today's video. So first of all, I got to type in my trusty CG_FOV, change it to 90 because I'm a PC player now and I literally cannot stand 65 FOV, bro. Like, genuinely, it is unplayable. Oh boy, here we are. And right off the bat, we have the M14, and we are playing as Marlton here on Mob of the Dead. As you can see, the zombie models as well are completely unfinished, and yeah, that's very interesting. So this right here is Afterlife. Let's actually go into Afterlife and check out what we can do. So there's a little area we can go up here, interestingly. We can double jump up here, and if I actually activate the trigger text here, it'll actually kill me. So I'm not going to do that. I tried that and learned that the hard way. So we're not going to do that. Although I'm a little confused on what exactly the point of the starting room Afterlife is. Like, I don't really know what you can actually open this early. Regardless, let's revive myself because I'm going to freaking die. I'm going to actually die regardless because oh my gosh. Mistakes are being made right now. Let's toggle God mode and revive myself so I can actually, like, not die instantly. Thank you. Screw it. Might as well kill all these zombies to get a bunch of points. Actually, never mind. The game's gonna kill them for me anyway. Anyway, let's go to players. Toggle ignore so they ignore me now. And let's give myself a bunch of money as well. There we go. So yeah, that is Afterlife. It's very early in development, but it did have the shock hands, which is very interesting. And you got increased jump height. So the functionality was there, but it was very much obviously not finished. So let's go into the library. As you can see, this area looks similar in terms of geometry, but once we go this way, you'll notice the staircase that'd usually be up here is not there, and the sort of hell portal hole down here is not there. And I think the zombies are, like, spawning in, like, at 24. They spawn, like, max zombies. Let's not do that. Let's set it to -1, how it should be. Because it's spawning 24 zombies on round 2, bro. So this, like I said, would be the hellhole. It's not there, and there's actually a staircase going up to where the hellhound would be, and this whole entire level just doesn't exist. It's two separate areas, and we have a B-23R in that usual location, but there's no dog head in this spot, interestingly. Now let's move on to this side of the map, and as you can see, we actually have the door that costs $750 over there, and we also have another level. So essentially, this whole entire part of the prison was initially gonna be accessible all the way down to over here as well. And I believe there may be a way to go to that side as well, although you might have to actually open up the other side where the cafeteria is in order to get that. So let's run over here to this Afterlife. Let's see if it'll actually let me use it. I don't know why it's making crawlers. It's really weird. Okay, so I can use it. Very nice. Spawned me on this side. So let's go through this portal, and this is the shock box. We're gonna open up that. Any other shock boxes over here? No, there's not. That is that. But since Afterlife seems to be working now, thankfully, I might be able to check out some other interesting areas. with this as well. If there's any areas I can like jump up or anything. I don't think so. I think that's practically it with this, maybe. Yeah, let's just revive myself. There we go. So I guess you can't access those areas normally. That's actually where a barrier is, interestingly enough. Anyway, so over here, got the box. Screw it, let's hit it up. Got the monkey bombs. Speed cola. Might as well pick it up. Anyways, let's keep on going down. Let's go to the Citadel tunnels. As you can see, this area is relatively the same geometry-wise. This will lead us to double tap, but it's not here. So if we keep going, you'll notice double tap is actually in that corner. And some of the pillars and stuff that would usually be in this sort of hallway area is not in this build. But we do still have the Remington chalk right there, so let's pick that up. And this sort of thing right here is actually the dog head. So the dog heads weren't initially in this build, they were added in later, but the functionality essentially is there. So you basically fill these up with souls and it gives you the Hell's Retriever, which is very interesting. But it seems a little buggy in this build, so I'm not going to really fiddle with that very much. So that's that. Let's actually go this way before we go down to the Citadel tunnels. Let's check out the showers. So over here is the showers area. This is how we get access to the part for the plane. There's also a wall by, interestingly, in there. And it doesn't seem to appear that we have a laundry machine yet, interestingly enough. We'll also check that out once we actually loop around the map as well, because that's very interesting. Let's go up here. This is an afterlife door, and yeah, that's very interesting. That's what the showers looks like. Very similar layout to release, but obviously it's not finished. So let's actually go down into the Citadel tunnels. As you can see, the afterlife box is not there, and this whole area seems to be a lot more open. The sort of like sheets of metal that would usually be poking out with the afterlight numbers aren't there. And the rubble and the rocks and stuff also aren't there. But the general layout is pretty similar. As well as the voltage number meter over here is not there as well. Keep going down to here where one of the shield parts as well as the part for the plane would usually be is not here, and instead it's just a zombie barrier. But the layout is practically the same there, and that eventually would be opened up as well. Let's keep going into this area. As you can see, the geometry is very similar. This would be eventually blocked off in the later build, and the staircase is there, but for some reason they have this kind of janky barrier set up here. Obviously that it seems very temporary because obviously they changed it, but that's very different. And it appears that the double doors, actually the door is right there, is here, but it's automatically opened and you don't need to basically go anywhere. As well as it doesn't seem like the afterlife area is actually here as well. Do have the MP5 in a very similar spot though. Let's keep on going outside. And this is where we start seeing some pretty big differences as well. As you can see, Juggernog is actually over here, and this whole entire area where the buildable benches is completely open. There's no blockage as well. So let's pick up Jug. Very interesting. I'm curious if there's a afterlife limit, because there's going to be something interesting going up here. Got some claymores. Let's pick those up. Let's go in here. As you can see, there is an afterlife right here. Okay, there isn't an afterlife limit, interestingly. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, it's being a little finicky there. I'm guessing it's because the fact that I don't have a key. Let's just revive myself. We'll go back and deal with that in a second. So that's actually where the keypad is usually. It's actually in here, which is kind of cool, actually. You can go up here, and we have like some random like target practice right here for some reason. Then the door leading out to this sort of passageway onto where Jug would usually be, as well as the tunnels down here. See, the machine is obviously not there, and this area is blocked off by an invisible wall. So let's actually no clip out of here, UFO out of here, down here, and let's check out the rest of the docks. All right, so down here, so we got another afterlife as well as a boat that I'm pretty sure is not actually in the final Mob of the Dead right here. At least that I don't remember seeing it. I could definitely be wrong, but it's definitely not there in my memory. For some reason, we got a part for a turbine and a Thompson Wallby. That's essentially a reskin sort of scorpion, but it has a relatively decently in development model, and it has essentially final animations, which is pretty cool. We also have the sniper trap, which, let's go into afterlife, and let's activate this. Tower trap. It is working very interestingly. So yeah, that's the tower trap. It's gonna end the round, unfortunately. Before it does, let's call the gondola, and let's take a trip over there. So that's the docks. It's a very similar overall layout in terms of its geometry, but it's very different in terms of the sheer amount of areas, which is very, very interesting. All right, so let's use the gondola. And as you can see, the gondola actually takes us to a completely different location. It would originally actually take you to the roof, so up to where Icarus is. Okay, there we go. Here's Icarus. It's in a very unfinished state, but as you can see, you can add parts to the plane there. And we have dead shots. Let's pick that up. I don't know, this is just a very interesting design for the map. That'd actually be pretty cool. Although this area is pretty wide open, though. That'd be a super easy training spot if it stayed that way, but obviously I don't think it would. All right, let's go back down into the Infirmary, which is very, very liminal looking with its lighting. It's obviously very in development for obvious reasons. Got another weird symbol right there. That would be a dog head, and that leads us into where Deadshot usually is in the final build. But this part is absolutely wild, and when I first saw this, I was literally shocked. I was like, like literally, it's insane. So if we keep running down here, you'll see something that's very, very familiar. Would you look at this? This is the Blood of the Dead catwalk, which is absolutely wild that this geometry, all this stuff was here back in Black Ops 2. And it took them until 2018 to actually release the full Alcatraz map. Although Jason Blundell did say that Blood of the Dead was essentially the director's cut of Mob of the Dead, so it makes a lot of sense. And over here we have I'm guessing that sort of trap, I forget what it's called, but it's like slices the zombies, the fan trap or whatever. That might be it, I'm not sure. But open up this door, we are greeted with new industries from Blood of the Dead. And how do I know this? Well, this whole entire area is essentially what that area kind of is in Blood of the Dead, which is very, very interesting. In fact, let's actually do a UFO out here and check this out. As you can see, this area is really, really huge. But yeah, this would obviously be used in Blood of the Dead for that. But what's really wild is if we go out this door, as you can see, this whole entire building right here, with those doors, this is where Blood of the Dead is spawning in. So, like, over here, we go up the stairs, we go through this area, and that's New Industries. Yep, this whole entire area was here from the get-go, which is, it blows my mind. Anyway, let's get out of UFO mode here. I need to get that key. I'm pretty sure it might be near the cafeteria. We'll be going back there in a second. Let's go this way, and as you can see, we have this sort of tunnel going over to the other side where the power switch would usually be on Blood. We're going to be going back to this after this. You can see we have this whole other area over here with that barrier down here. And this is where one of the box locations would be over in this area. Also a Pack-a-Punch location would be. And I'm just geeking out right now because it's just ridiculous, man. Can you please leave me alone? Okay, zombies, toggle, ignore. Thank you. Okay, we got Speak Hola again over here for some reason. But as you can see, yeah, this is where that first power switch would usually be, which is very interesting. And like I said, it's just insane that all this geometry was here back this early. So that's that essentially. I'm gonna be trying to go back and essentially see if I can get all the plane parts and build the plane. But I'm not sure if that's possible. But this is really interesting. So this spot is actually where a fast travel would usually be. And during that fast travel, there would be essentially a minecart rail, essentially, when you're doing that sort of animation. Well, it turns out Mob of the Dead had that minecart rail going up to the other side of the map initially from the get-go, which is just nuts. Like, all of this was here. And let's actually do a little UFO here, because I can actually show you the minecart coming up. There it is. The whole thing essentially was there. Although I don't know if it's functional. It says minecart unavailable and it won't sort of recharge. I tried it before, it won't work. That's fine, but let's do a little UFO action down here. As you can see, it looks exactly how it looks in Blood of the Dead, which is very, very, very interesting to me. And then here we are on the other side, and that brings us all the way back. If we go up here, brings us all the way back to the showers, which is very, very cool. There we go. Let's get out of here and let's go back up to near spawn. And let's check out the other side of the map where the cafeteria is. Alright, here we are. Let's open up this door. As you can see now we have the same pathway over here to over here. But interestingly, there was actually more to this area over here. You can actually go all the way to the end, as well as actually go up to a higher level here. Although it seems blocked off a little bit, but I was able to actually get through there by crouching. So let's go down and let's go into the cafeteria. So I'm guessing that's actually a shock box right there. Here, so let's go into afterlife and see what we can do here. All right, brings us down here, I guess. You can open the door through that. Is this a shock box? No, it's not. That's actually pretty cool. So apparently there's a way to like jump down and shock that. Very interesting. So yeah, there's that. Like I said though, I don't know where the key is. Like, it doesn't really tell you very much, but anyway, let's open up the door. It seems like when I go into afterlife, it turns off no target. It's kind of annoying. But here we are in the cafeteria. It's essentially completely open. There's no rubble, and there's no, like, bunch of seats and stuff right here. It's just completely open, interestingly. And it looks like over here, there was a staircase going down there, which is very, very, very cool. Also have the acid trap. I'm going to be trying that out in a little bit after this. Once we check out the weapons that are actually in this map, because there's some early versions of the Blundergat and things like that. So over here, as you can see, it's actually using transit stuff as a base. So we have all these parts. I believe we can craft the shield here. There we go. As you can see, it does the animation for it, but it's just the transit shield. It all does essentially the same thing. And then over here, we can build the Pack-a-Punch. Which is actually, that is so odd. Okay, let's check out the Blundergat. Let's move on to that, because I'm pretty sure that's practically everything that I can really show about the map, although I'll do an overview after this. So let's give myself weapons, then Blundergat _ ZM. There we go. As you can see, it actually calls itself the Remington. It's basically like a complete like reskin of the Remington, but it's using the World at War sawed-off double barrel model, but whatever. See, there we go. That gives me back the, I believe this is a reskinned campaign weapon. But as you can see, it basically does what the acid gat would usually do, where it like blows up in like a grenade sort of fashion. Very, very cool. And I can see the sort of like campaign team influence here, because obviously Jason Blundell was, you know, part of the campaign team when they were designing this map, and they're using campaign weapons. That's very, very interesting. So yeah, that's the Blundergat. Definitely looks like the Blundergat, but the model is there. Let's also check out the Tomahawk. There we go. As you can see, the function is there. Although in this build, it's much more powerful because it doesn't really have a limit to the amount of zombies that it can affect. So it's extremely effective, especially if you have Horde. It'll just literally go through every single one, which is very interesting. Anyways, that's that. And let's check out the acid trap. We run through it. It appears that it seems to work, although since the zombies are no targeted, it won't really do anything. As you can see, it does shoot out acid. Very, very cool. Alright everyone, this is kind of thrown in here, but I spawned in Brutus. This is what the dude looks like right now. He's doing some weird stuff. I guess I have to turn off the no target right now. Yep, there we go. He's gonna run over to the box, and he's gonna lock it. I guess that just crashes every single time. So that's That's an early look at Brutus, I guess. Anyway, let's go into Afterlife again and see if we can find any interesting things. Yeah, it's over. Let's do a fast restart. That was a mistake. Anyway, let's do a little no clipping around the map. Let's see what we can see. So this is an overall overview of what the island looks like. As you can see, essentially everything is here. Like, they quite literally remade the entire Alcatraz Island here in Mob of the Dead, which is very, very cool, very interesting. And just like in the Origins sort of pre-alpha, they have all these sort of like models out here just floating, which is strange, but I guess that's just how they do their testing or something. See if I can find the Golden Gate Bridge anywhere. See if that was actually even a thing in this build. So I'm gonna go into full bright, see if there's anything I can really see. Honestly, I don't think the Golden Gate Bridge even existed yet. Because that's how it seems. It doesn't seem like it exists yet. Wait a minute. Yes, it did. It literally just loaded over here. Ooh, there it is. What the frick is this? Okay, let's get out of Fulbright. This looks really cursed. So hopefully this doesn't kill me, because I know a lot of times it does that for some reason when you're out of bounds. Alright, we have the pack punch over here. It's working, and we have a Durre's teleporter. Yeah, let's not fall out of the map. So yeah, that's very interesting. We actually have a full Icarus right here, just casually flying down. But yeah, that's an early version of the Golden Gate Bridge as well. I didn't expect to see a Durre's teleporter, but you know, that's just how it is on this build, I guess. So yeah, that is early Mob of the Dead. This is very interesting to me. It's always been interesting to me, you know, seeing early versions of zombies games. Since COD Zombies is one of my favorite modes ever, this stuff just always intrigued me. And if you guys like this video, I hope you guys did. Drop a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Let's see if it kills me once I'm at a no clip here. It actually won't let me. Anyways, we're not gonna worry about that, because I don't even know if the key's even possible to get in this build. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did and you want to see some other stuff on the channel, make sure to drop a like. Like I said, this stuff always interests me. Like, I love seeing these early versions of zombies games, and if you guys are interested in seeing some other stuff, like the other build with DLC vibe and stuff you want to see me cover in particular, I will definitely do that. But subscribe to this channel, subscribe to COD Zombies Archive for COD Zombies Nostalgia, and as always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I am so freaking glad I got this to work. I never thought this would actually work, but they freaking did, bro.